excited for them to go to the farm.
Everybody can see my COVID cut. Yes, I am balding. I have lots of forehead and I have no beard right now. That was my weight loss program for seeding 2020. There's the yard site in behind the mirror there. Sorry, I didn't go to photography school, and yes, the windows are that dirty.
We were working on the air drill and he came out, and I thought it was just a normal day, and it turned out to be one of the worst days of my life. He gave us the news that he's got cancer, and it was stage 3 cancer, pretty serious.
We are on our way to the farm. We just got groceries, but I can't get a hold of anyone, so I don't know actually where to go. But Jennings is going to go out for lunch. We've made lunch today, and my lunch game, it's good. I promise it's good, but I don't really pack it very well. I do the plastic bag. I'm wondering, what do you do, or how do you package the lunch? Some I know use the really big cases, which are really good, but we have a tendency to lose those, or they never come home. So I'm excited for them to go to the farm, or at least one of them.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I got way too much. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna stop before I hit something. I'm in the yard getting fuel right now, so I still haven't figured out where to look on this thing. Anyways, it's catch-up day. Yeah, got a lot of spraying to do, so I'm gonna try to catch up today. I've been slacking. I've been having too much coffee and 3 o'clock naps, I guess, but no. It's been pretty cold at night, so we haven't been able to do a lot of spraying during the day. She's fill time for everybody, I guess. I was gonna keep going on the sprayer and fill myself, but I see Keith is filling the drill here, so better give him a hand. Easy as that.
Oh man, I need a holder for this thing. Anyways, seed and hard red spring wheat. We are hammering it in right now. We're having some pretty long days and some pretty productive days. We average between 260 to 350 acres a day doing wheat. It's sped up just because we pre-apply anhydrous, our nitrogen, with our anhydrous unit, what we showed in the past video. Anyways, we are seeding right now with our 60-foot seed hawk. 60-foot seed hawk and a John Deere 430 tank, 430 bushel tank. I think I showed it in the past video, but I don't remember. I have a bit of Alzheimer's, so. Anyways, everybody can see my COVID cut. Yes, I am balding. I have lots of forehead and I have no beard right now. That was my weight loss program for seeding 2020. We're hammering away here, putting some seeds in the ground. We are approximately, what would we be, a third done right now. There's about a little over 2,000 acres in right now. We have about 1,200 acres of lentils in, and we're about half done our wheat right now. So yeah, we still got a little bit of going left on wheat here, and oh, that's not a good sound. It went away though. It fixed itself. It's a little bit bouncy, a little bit rough, but we're making magic happen. See the drill making some dust so the bins will bust. Little picture out in front. The yard site in behind the mirror there. Sorry, I didn't go to photography school, and yes, the windows are that dirty.
It's field scouting day. So just a little bit of information of what that means is spend many hours in the field just checking things out. Usually, like before I spray a field, I'll go and drive it to see what kind of weeds there are, to make sure that I'm going to do a proper job with Roundup, or if I have to add something, you know, if there's volunteer canola, Roundup canola, you have to add another product to kill the Roundup canola. Just stuff like that. Downy brome, I like to spruce it up with a little bit of a Assure or something like that to get a good kill of the downy brome, because that is a nasty weed you do not want. It's hard to kill. So yeah, when I talk about pre-burn, what that means is I spray before the seeder, before we seed it, and then that way we're good to go until in crop, and that gives you really good staging for your weed and your crop for in crop. But in this particular field is seeded into lentils, and I did not spray it before seeding, and the reason being is because you can see it's canola stubble. Last year it was Roundup, so I know that it's going to be a volunteer flush of Roundup canola. So what I have to do then is, at the time that I was going to spray it before seeding, the Roundup wasn't germinated yet. It wasn't poking through the ground, so of course I'm going to miss it. So that being said, I'm going to have to spray it after. I don't like doing that just because the seeder does kick up enough dirt, and it covers the weeds and stuff, and you don't get a really good kill. And plus, another thing is, if I'm going to spray it after seeding, you have to spray it before the lentils come up, of course, because the Roundup will kill the lentils. So it's a time thing. I got a lot of spraying, or you know, we run a 5-6 year old sprayer. It's a wonderful sprayer, but if it does break down, it can catch you, and then you got a mess if you can't get to it, and then all of a sudden the lentils are poking through the ground, and you have to wait until in crop to get all the weeds, and by then the weeds are big and you don't get a really good kill, and it's just a mess. I'll just stop here for a second and I'll show you, see if the lentils are germinated yet. Right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got a, oh, I don't want to knock it off, but it's got a wee little tail. Yeah, it's hard to see right there. It's got a wee little tail, so it has cracked germination, and I don't know. I would say I want to spray this within 4 days or 3 days, just to be safe. Well, Derek's having a bad day. My oldest daughter Danica was supposed to come out for a ride today, and she's been staying with mom and dad, my mom and dad, during the busy season, just to help out. Well, one reason is I cannot leave her alone. But yeah, she's been staying with them, so helping out mom with dad and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's been working out. But anyways, I kind of miss her, and I was looking forward to today. She was going to come out and do a video, and she likes doing that kind of stuff. So, but she's been having a mouth ache for the last couple days. So my wonderful mom took her into the city, and it ends up that she needs an emergency root canal. So hopefully all goes well, and best wishes to Danica. I love ya. Last night I was thinking to myself, oh, it's great, I'm finally getting ahead of the drill, and things are gonna start looking up here and calm down a little bit. And all of a sudden my neighbor phones me. He says, Derek, the extra land and all that kind of stuff, he says, your dad not being able to come out due to his health and all that kind of stuff, I'd like to come help. First thoughts was, holy moly, I can't even keep up to one drill, let alone two. How am I going to make that possible? But it's absolutely awesome that they offer. He is coming tomorrow. He delayed a day. He is going to come tomorrow and help us out. It's overwhelming with all the help that people have offered us, from some of the ladies helping Leslie with meals, and some of the neighbors asking where we need help and what they can do and when they can do it. It's absolutely awesome. nice open field here, so I'm able to do a little bit more of a video without hitting trees and wrecking stuff. So a little bit about myself. I grew up in Watrous my whole life, except for the very first year after high school. I took off to Manitoba for a year to be a big game guide. That didn't pan out. Absolutely loved the work, but it just didn't pan out with who I was with. So I came back and started farming with Dad, and then eventually started farming with the joint venture here with me, Leslie, and Dad, and haven't looked back. Absolutely love it. It's been challenging at times, but it's also fun, and it's I wouldn't ask for anything different for a career. It's kind of funny, during school, you know, I was a little bit of a rebel, and teachers always told me, you know, Derek, you're never going to make a living staring out that window. Well, I proved them wrong. I think I make a pretty good living staring out the window. I had to stop for a second and show you guys this view. It's I'm on top of one of the highest hills out west here, and it is absolutely beautiful. We had supper one night out here, and it was just getting dark when we were pulling out, and you can actually see, I think it was 3 or 4 towns, or maybe even 5 towns. You can see the lights. It's just gorgeous. Good day, everybody. A little windy out there, so thought I'd take a moment and do a video in the house instead of being in a cab. Gives a good opportunity to talk about Mom and Dad. Oh, where do I start? Mom and Dad, they're both very, very strong people. They're my world. They support all of us kids as children and as business partners 100%. We had to speed up the process of the transition with the farm because of Dad's health. Growing up, me being in hockey and baseball and golf and the whole 9 yards, and Leslie being in slow pitch and softball and curling and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't remember a day that Dad wasn't either coaching me or in the stands. Even farming, he took a lot of time off from the farm to be there for the kids, and I'm trying to. He's a big role model. So is Mom. They took a huge part out of their life to make sure that us kids had a good living. They supported me 100%, even though sometimes I was a little bit of a devil. More so Mom, I remember living on the farm, and just anytime, like it was three trips to town. We live about 10 miles away from town, and it didn't matter what we needed. It was trips to town constantly, every day, just to make sure that we were good. Her and Dad make time to watch my oldest kid, so it means a lot. It means absolutely a lot. They take a lot of time out of their own life to make sure everyone else is happy, and makes me proud of where I am, where we are, taking over the family farm. I couldn't ask for anything else. It makes me very proud, farming the land that my grandpa once bought. Now me and Matt bought it, or some of it. Dad still has quite a bit, but even the house that I'm in right now, I renovated the 3rd generation farmhouse. It's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people have fancy new homes, but this is what I chose to do: fix it up and bring my children into it and let them enjoy it. 10 years ago, me and Matt and Leslie joined the joint venture partnership with Dad. And just last January, because of Dad's health, we sped up the process, and we bought out his share. But like I said, he's still a very big mentor on the farm. He plays a big role. Right now he's he can't do any labor, so he every day 3 o'clock he's bringing out coffee or donuts or ice cream or whatever he needs to be and needs to do, and he brings the grandkids and even my dog, so he really enjoys that, and I'm glad he can enjoy that. He's also a grain marketer on the side. He has been for probably 10 years now, and so he takes more of the bigger responsibilities of watching the grain markets every day and all that kind of stuff. And then I follow up with him. I take care of the grain side of the farm. Matthew helps quite a bit, but that's kind of one of my roles. And it's great because I can have that little conversation with Dad with something that we both enjoy doing. So it means a lot too. More about Dad's health. Last April, he was having some issues, and so he went to see the doctor, and I remember we were working on the air drill and he came out, and I thought it was just a normal day, and it turned out to be one of the worst days of my life. He came out and gave us the news that he's got cancer, and it was stage 3 cancer, pretty serious. It was hard to know how to take that kind of news. I've never had that kind of news on that kind of level before, so it took quite some time to sink in and go forward with it. But he's very strong. He's a new meaning to my hero, that's for sure. He beat it. He did chemo and radiation and a serious operation, and he came out with flying colors. I couldn't believe how well things went. So very proud of him. He's got a little bit of a hiccup now. The cancer has come back in different places, but we're dealing with it. So it's affected the farm big time. It's different. It's very hard to come out here every day and him not be around. That's one thing that I was always look forward to, is just having me, Matt, and Dad every day together and having our shop meetings in the morning and all that kind of stuff. So it is something that I miss, but we're dealing with it. One thing I can say, though, it has brought me, Matthew, and Leslie together stronger, making decisions. We make sure that we are making a group decision, not just a decision on self, by yourself. So we've gone a long ways with that, big time. I'm very proud of that. And like I said earlier, I'm very proud this farm is still going forward. Dad's still got a big role. He takes part of all of our meetings and even decision making. We're bouncing ideas off him all the time, and he's still there, and he's behind us 100%. And I couldn't ask for anything more. Mom, like I mentioned, even with all the running around she's doing with Danica and Grandma and Grandpa and my dad, she's still helping out with meals and helping out with baking and doing yard work, and unbelievable parents I have. That's an understatement. So I had a couple questions from the previous video that we made, that just, is your dad, what's your dad's role in the farm now? And I kind of wanted to clarify that he's still with us. He's going 100%. A lot of knowledge. I don't think in my lifetime I'll even come close to knowing everything that he does, but I'm sure going to give it a try.
Morning, everyone. Matt Kelly here. Another day, late night here last night. Probably went till about 11:30. I guess it wasn't too bad, but by the time I did all my running around, it was probably closer to midnight, 12:30 by the time I got to bed, which is okay. We're making good headway. We're on canola right now. We're doing Liberty canola, straight cut canola right now. Probably have another 580 acres, I guess, left of Liberty canola, then on to Clearfield canola, and then Roundup Ready to finish off, and then canary seeds. So we're rolling along pretty good. It's probably going to come up why we grow so many different varieties or types of canola. We are a 6,500 or 6,800 acre farm. We only own one swather We have 2 straight cut headers for our combines, which is good for straight cut varieties. But we do still swath some of our canola, but it works good for us for a management structure or flow of the combines. Nice picking up some swaths. We also purchased another combine, so we don't have another straight cut header for it, so we will still pick up swaths. Most of the good Roundup Ready varieties of canola don't have the straight cut capability on them. Pods are getting stronger on them, so they will. We push them pretty much right till you should straight cut them. We find that we get more bushels an acre by letting them come to full maturity, and that's the benefit of straight cut canolas. And then we grow a Clearfield variety too, just to kind of for spray management. Just gives us another chemical in our toolbox, so we're not always spraying Roundup or Liberty, and spreads out the spectrum of chemicals we use. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of the explanation about that. All of our canolas are seeded with our Seed Hawk. That's why we own a Seed Hawk. We find that it does a far superior job than old shank type machines or old air drills. We skim it into the ground about a half an inch, packs it up nice, and the benefit of a Seed Hawk drill is each opener is an individual opener, so it follows the contours of the ground. We have a lot of rolly, contoury ground, where a shank machine, the old air drills are the first initial air drills that came out in the early 90s, mid 90s, and were really popular. Did do a very nice job of packing and flexibility of the drill, but sometimes when you're seeding canola, it was hard to control the depth that it was skimmed in at. There are still guys that use air drills, and that's not a big deal for us. Whatever works for every individual farmer. Just giving an example of what works for us. So a little short video on some of the challenges that happened later last year with my father-in-law Garnet getting cancer or receiving treatment last year. Last year was quite a unique year. He was diagnosed with cancer in his throat. Garnet is our mentor, kind of the farm manager, did everything. He was such a support, not only of getting the crop in to managing it, to getting Derek, Leslie, and myself up to speed and managing us and mentoring us, I guess, to become better farmers or better people, I guess, is what really it all entails. With Garnet getting cancer, going into treatment, we were going into harvest time, and he wouldn't be around. He was still available via the phone, but that support system was really was gone essentially. He had instilled a lot of the tools, but we hadn't really put them to work yet. And I think all in all, the challenges that happened last year of a difficult harvest, of snowing on our canola and trying to get the crop off and having wet canola, and all in all, I think we managed it quite well. You know, our first challenges, we really stepped up to the plate, and I think we grew together. Well, we did grow together as a team, as a family, as everything, and really showed our true colors. I think really worked well with one another, and we were able to communicate, Derek and I, on the management of the farm, and also with Leslie with the meals and other tools that she has, her HR skills, and helping us even just with our day-to-day things. She's really almost a carbon copy of her father in some sense there. So, but yeah, it was a difficult time, but we got through it, and I think it was all a success. Well, it was a success. I shouldn't say I think. I know it was a success, because we did get our harvest done, and yeah, we had to dry some grain, but we had it all off and out of the field, and yeah, really managed that stress there. So yeah, the challenge of Garnet, what he went through, and seeing him go through it and not be on the farm was a very difficult thing. But you know, he's still dealing with cancer today, but you know, we still lean on him very heavily for that management, and you know, that voice of reason and thought process of being open to changing and having the ability to not only ask for help but also rely on one another and trust one another that the jobs are getting done, and to manage our team and of employees, and not only support one another mentally. If there's a lot of things that happen during the seeding season, the harvest season, and all year round essentially, and help manage one another's stresses, or even talk about things. That's one thing that Garnet has really instilled is that team atmosphere and supporting one another, and family comes first. Family always has come first, and you don't have your family, you don't have the farm. So that's one of the main things that he's instilled in us, and mentored us and mentored me personally in my struggles with mental health and issues that I've had, and had the ability to communicate, and also, to look deep down inside to really find the utmost in myself, and believe in myself, I guess, and the ability to work in that team atmosphere. That's one thing that I needed. I'd always worked by myself, and I found it hard working that team atmosphere, and I felt like the need to prove myself, and he gave me that comfort to say that you don't need to prove yourself. You need to believe in yourself and trust that everything's going to happen. And yeah, he's really instilled a lot of things in me, and I hope I'm doing justice to some of the things helped us with, or helped me with, and helped the family with.
So Matt and Derek shared a bit about what it was like having my dad go through cancer, still battling cancer. And one of the things that really rang true for me during those hard times was the second time my dad was diagnosed and we found out it spread. Of course, we all were devastated to think of him having to go through this again. The unknown, there's so much unknown, and it's such a process that he said, that's Copeland. He said that he can't control many things, but the one thing he can control is his mindset and being positive and trying to keep that, because during those hard times, it was his positive mindset that really helped. So that really touched and impacted all of us. So I'm gonna walk over there. Cope and I are gonna ride our bikes, or he's gonna ride his bikes, and then he's gonna ride his bike. And then I'm just gonna introduce you to my amazing mom and dad. And the great thing is, we bought a house. Once we moved to Regina, we bought a house in town, and then my parents moved from the farm into town, and we only live 2 blocks away from each other, so it's really nice and really convenient. And so every night, especially during COVID, we've been walking over there and hanging out in their backyard just so we can see them, and it's been really nice. My mom and dad's backyard, and we're playing soccer right here. Okay, ready? Good, stop. Here's my wonderful mom and dad. They're just hanging out in their backyard.
Yep, doing nothing. Watching the kids play.
Yeah.
And the dog.
And the dog.
So we talked in the video about Dad having cancer, what that was like going through it. My question, Dad, for you is, what would be your one piece of advice that you'd give to somebody else that was going through something similar?
Always stay positive. Cancer is a very emotional. It not only works on your body, but it works on your mind. And keep your mind in a positive state at all times.
What would be your piece of advice for a farm family going through cancer?
Well, again, positivity. It's something you can't, you got to look at reality of having everything as far as the financials and everything in place for the family farm to keep surviving. But I think the biggest one again is you got to live day to day. Long term, you don't know. You gotta stay in the moment and take every positive things. And this year, even with cancer, there's all kinds of positive things that has happened on the family farm. Not only everybody was challenged in different ways, but everybody stepped up to the plate, and it's brought the family closer together. And there's all kinds of memories there, and take the time to enjoy it. Enjoy life, because you never know. Uh, it's a day to day, and I'm loving it right now. I'm enjoying it. I can't do some of the things I'd love to be able to do, but on the other hand, I get to do other things, and I love it.
You're enjoying time right now so much where, what were you looking at buying just a few minutes ago?
I was looking at buying a quad, but I want a 6-seater. And I found out there's not even one in Saskatchewan, and they're not making them right now, so I might have to put it on hold. But I was looking at not only for the farm, because that we can have a number of people in it, go crop checking and learning about the crops. But I was also looking at taking all my grandchildren with me and going for a big tour. So I'm disappointed right now, because I thought they had a used one down there, and I was going to jump in the vehicle and go get it and surprise everybody, but I got fooled.
Well, we'll keep looking for you. And Mom, what would be your piece of advice? Because you've been such a huge supporter of Dad going through this. What would be your piece of advice to other people who are helping someone through?
It's just day by day, and some days are hour by hour. You really can't make plans for anything. And if you want to do something, it's last minute. Yeah, it's just be support and hour by hour.
Hour by hour.
Yep.
See, they're pretty amazing parents that I have.
Of course we are. What else did you expect?
See where I get my humor from?
Oh.
And my looks. But wouldn't be where we are without these two amazing role models, mentors, parents. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love ya.
Love you too. So back in the office. So I know a short little video doesn't do my parents justice for all the support that they've given us kids and their family throughout the years. One thing that I know Derek talked about that I would just like to emphasize was that what really helped me and my family get through some of those hard times was people. And it didn't matter, like, from strangers that we had never met or family and friends or those within our community. People are so kind and generous, and the support that we received was absolutely amazing, humbling, and really don't have words, because when you need someone to talk to or need something, people want to help in any way that they can. And that time we had some really amazing people come and help us. So if you have any questions or stories, or you would like to connect, ask, please send me a note, because we've learned a lot through this. We're still learning, and if there's any way that we can help pay it forward and help other people go through, if they're going through something similar, that, you know, it helps us, because we would like to extend all the thanks and appreciation and pay it forward. We know how hard these times or those times can really be. So stay tuned for our next video coming up.